Welcome back to Fallout 4 Survival No Craft. We're breaking up today in the Dugout Inn. And today we're gonna go find this detective, Nick Valentine. It's not too far of a walk.
Have a nice day.
And I think we finally have the weapons we need, fingers crossed, in order to make it through the masses of triggermen and the gang that's between us and where Nick is.
I'll take a look.
We're going to talk to Polly here, who is a meat and food vendor. The great thing about Polly is that she has cooked meat, which is great for us because it means that we can have non-irradiated food while not having to craft it because we can't. So we'll give her our Brahmin meat and a little bit of our irradiated pre-war food and take the cooked food that she has. This is a little weird. So we have Spot and the caravan guards, but we don't actually have the trader that goes along with it. Hopefully we will come across them soon. Would have been nice to get some last minute training in before we head that way, but oh well. In order to get to where Nick is at Park Street Station, we're going to have to go through what can kind of be a little bit of a harrowing area, the Boston Common. I don't think we're ready to take on Swan. Even with Justice, I just don't think that it's going to be enough to counter that incredible monstrosity. As usual, Dogman's picking a fight that I wish we could just go past, but sometimes if Dogmeat gets hurt enough times, then he gets stuck where I don't want him to be. Incendiary leather chest piece. Sets melee attackers on fire, or rather has a chance to set melee attackers on fire, which is not very good since we're in power armor most of the time. Bobby Pins, Stim Pack, and Eddie Winters holotape, which we may or may not do the Eddie Winters quest line. I haven't decided yet. Here's the public library. We're definitely not going to do right now because it's a optional quest. I'm going to sneak around this area because it is quite full of locations, random spawns. It's really hard to go through this area without aggroing something. So I found out that we, I guess, bought or found a T45 power armor helmet. So we're back to having a Pip-Boy light and a little bit of extra damage protection. There is an enormous super mutant hanging out in that pond. There we go, Boston Common. So we found the start of the Freedom Trail, which will be important for later. I've got 8 Molotov cocktails, 3 grenades, and 7 mines, which should be enough to get me through finding Nick Valentine and getting back out.
I'm telling you, joining Skinny Malone's crew was the best decision we've ever made. Look at this.
First death. Did not do that well at all. The sneak attack could have been a lot more effective. This time we're going to go in with full health, with Justice, and with a Molotov cocktail.
I still say Malone's weak, because the detectives...
Okay, we got it on the second try. I took out the 4 initial triggermen, and they took us down quite a bit of health doing that, which is not great. Does not bode well for how this is going to go, but it's something that we need to do in order to progress the main quest. And Nick is totally worth it too. Like, even if it wasn't a quest required, I would rescue Nick every time. He's a good guy. Alright, we got this massive gauntlet of triggermen taken care of on the first try. Couple frag grenades, couple frag mines, and some sniper rifle shots. Pretty impressive to do this first time, seeing as both of our arms were crippled. One thing to note about being in this area is there are a lot of beds, which is great for survival mode. We forgot to buy a fusion core while we were at Diamond City, so we are on our very last fusion core and are currently over encumbered. VATS also uses up fusion cores faster. That is one of the reasons that we've just been blasting through these fusion cores. And disarming that tripwire was enough to level us up. Last level we took Rifleman rank 2. I think we're going to take some more endurance, so we could definitely use the HP right now. I almost took Locksmith to get expert locks to open this safe here, but it's not really worth it. I want something that's going to help the build overall, not just situationally for a single safe. I think we aggroed everybody in this area, which I say as soon as I find out that is not the case. And we've just used up our fusion core. And because we've used up our fusion core, we can no longer use VATS in our power armor. So we're going to leave the power armor here because that is the door that we come out of when we find Nick. We're currently really over encumbered because the power armor was giving us extra strength. I'm going to ditch the chef's hat and instead go for the postman's hat for a little bit extra health. All right, we're going into Vault 114. Wow, that was really fast, actually. We've already died once to the triggermen that are just beyond the vault door. Turns out a guy with a baseball bat against a guy with no power armor. Yeah, the baseball bat's gonna win. But we're about to run out of our fusion core. So we're gonna pop it right here. And just be really smart about this fight. There's our level up. Third time's the charm, right? We're gonna take Idiot Savant number 2. So this has been a problem for us in the past. I'm going to come back and find one of the beds. And you get the fast-forwarded version, but I don't. I'm gonna try to make this a little bit speedy so we can get on to the more interesting things, which is not me dying over and over in various new ways. Yeah, Vault-Tec tried to put me on ice. It didn't go very well for them. I lived. I probably didn't need that last shot, but I wanted to take it in case the rest didn't take. This is a really tricky area. I'm gonna have to rely heavily on mines and backing up. And definitely on my sniper rifle. There's one mine. There's a second that took someone out. I wouldn't call the slow healing and survival a benefit, but there is a little bit that I can take a stim pack and wait for it to trigger and like over time. Very nice. It unfortunately won't let us use this bed because there's an enemy too close, and the enemy is down this hole. I'm going to take the opportunity while I'm at a vault that has clean water to refill all of my bottles and cans of water with purified water. And then we're going to get that little bit of health back by drinking some water as well. So the story behind Vault 114 is it is a incomplete vault. They took an old subway station, fired all the workers, and it was going to be an experiment for high-ranking individuals, so city officials, kind of the upper echelon. It was going to be this luxury vault, except that Vault-Tec purposefully had them share spaces and As you can see, the showers are just like shower stalls with no privacy. And you'll see in a little bit, there's a nursery with like 4 nursery beds in it. It was not at all meant to be a luxury vault. It is instead meant to be an experiment in what it's like for people that think they're entitled to be in really cramped quarters. And the person that they put in charge, the overseer that they selected but didn't have a chance to use, was an anti-government conspiracy theorist. So you have this very antagonistic person towards government and government figures in charge of a place with a bunch of cramped elitist high-level cops and government types. And it's kind of sad that we don't get to see the result of that, but it's interesting to think about what the result would be 200 years later if everybody would just be dead. Oh look, Nick is a synth.
Anyway, you got troubles, and I'm glad to help.
We found some army fatigues, and we're going to put on the postman's hat, which is quite a good find. It gives us both strength and agility, which are things we both need right now. It reduces a little bit of what the vault suit gave us, but I'm willing to give that up in order to have the extra agility to be able to use VATS better, and strength to be able to carry all of our really heavy weapons right now.
Yes.
5 more action points for free. I'm gonna set up this area ahead of time with a couple of mines, just in case, and then I'm going to put on my charisma gear and hope that my lips don't break from being over encumbered while we're in this conversation.
Don't you try to confuse me! Get him, Skinny!
Well, that didn't work at all. I forgot to hotkey the military fatigues.
Darla, listen to me. You have a
Wow, really close up.
You don't want to throw your life away with these thugs.
Good, that charisma check finally worked. Coming back for the power armor, even though it doesn't have a fusion core. That's okay. I took the helmet and I'm leaving the power armor frame. I can always buy a new one at Diamond City. And right now I would much rather do that than be without a fusion core. Besides, it's right near Boston Common. If we do need to come back and get that power armor frame, we know exactly where we've left it. Hey, it's Cricket.
Ammo, weapons, and messy death. I got it all.
I'm getting rid of a bunch of 38 ammo since I had over 1,300. Some 5mm, some fusion cells, missiles I'm not using. They all have weight. And if I'm not using them, I should get rid of them. I really like Cricket as a vendor. I also really like her voice actress. But as we'll find out later, a lot of the caravans are actually Institute informants about synths, especially escape synths, because they tour the Commonwealth all the time. So depending on how you feel about the Institute, you may or may not like Cricket as an actual person. Okay, I'm switching out the light sniper rifle for a calibrated sniper rifle with Myrna. It does a little bit more damage, fire rate's the same. Overall, I think this is going to be a good upgrade for us. Having to buy everything and not being able to upgrade is really taxing on our caps. We have 503 left. But we have a new calibrated sniper rifle instead of the pipe sniper rifle. More frag grenades, 2 more frag mines that we were able to keep, 7 Molotovs. Obviously chance to stagger on hit with our shotgun justice, and the neat capper. We did it. We rescued Nick. And this is where we'll pick up again next time. Bye, Nick.